ceremony. My name is Vish Iyer, and I'll be your host for today's ceremony. To give our student farewell address, we have invited Andrew L. Holcomb, who will be graduating today with a bachelor's degree in music education.
To the University of Northern Colorado graduating class of 2012, congratulations. We made it. We survived the 8 a.m. classes, the midterms and finals, the residence halls with an RA and a roommate, and the 3-to-1 female-to-male ratio, which wasn't that bad. For many of us, we made it through what's our 17-plus year educational journey. And now we're just a few hours, maybe, away from being all graduated and ready to set out into that nebulous thing people call real life. So I'm going to try to keep this short because I'm just as excited as you are and tired of getting hit in the face with this tassel. I think that some people's interpretation of real life involves getting a job, making money, paying bills, breakfast, lunches, and dinners, kids maybe, more bills, and a few laughs along the way. I think sometimes people get stuck in a rut so deep that they forget how they got in or how to get out. It's kind of like being stuck on I-25 when you're in the only lane of traffic that's not going anywhere and everyone else is flying by you. But what we often forget is we have the power to switch lanes. We have the power to change our direction. That's one thing I learned at UNC. Another thing I learned is to value your background. I grew up in a small town in northern Michigan, and my mom and I moved to Denver when I was 9. I grew up wanting to play the drums every day, all the time. And finally, my mom gave in and bought me a drum set. Thanks, Mom. Aww. As I grew older, I became equally as passionate about education as I am about music, and so I decided to come to UNC because they have a great reputation in both departments. Now, when I got here, I started to research a little bit of the history of the place. Did you know that in our 123 years as a university, we've had 5 different names? In fact, there's a record of the most recent engraved on the bottom of several of the chairs in the theory classrooms in Fraser Hall. We were Colorado State College up until 1970, so you can do the math on the age of those chairs. We also used to have an old main building that lived between Gunter and Fraser Halls over on Central Campus. It stood where Cranford Park is now, and Cranford Hall first opened its doors to students in 1891 and was torn down in the late 1970s due to damage from fire and age. But okay, this isn't meant to be a UNC history lesson. My point is this: if we're to have a direction, if we're to have a goal for our future, we need to know where we've been. We need to have a solid foundation, a good understanding of who we are and where we come from. We come from a school with a solid background and reputation in programs like business, finance, nursing, education, leadership, performance, and we need to use this background as a springboard for our next step. And that next step is going to be different for each of us. It will be an individual decision that we each will make, but the good news is we're not alone. We will be able to make this decision with the support and encouragement of those that stand by us. See, we're about to embark on a journey of constantly challenging, engaging with, and learning from others. And we've been prepared for this journey not only by this university, but by our mentors, our counselors, our pastors, our families, and our friends. We sit here today in these moo-moo-ish robes and this silly identity crisis, I'm not sure if I'm a circle or a square hat, ready to take on real life. And so I challenge all of us, don't let real life become bills and work. And don't sit by and watch life pass you by hoping that things will change around you to appease you, because they won't. If we want there to be a difference in this world, we have to make it. The opportunities that we chose to or chose not to take advantage of here directly affected our trajectory, and the same is true for real life. So we need to take advantage of those opportunities, and we need to make a difference, and we need to be the change. Friends, we have to build the world in which we want to live. So let's go build it. Let's go be doctors and nurses and teachers, and let's go be performers and counselors and physical therapists, and let's support one another in these endeavors. Another lesson I learned here. On a final note, please remember to thank those people who have supported you in your educational journey. A college education is not something to be taken for granted, and I know that I couldn't have done this if it wasn't for the constant support and encouragement of my professors, my family, and my friends. Friendships that I hope will last a lifetime. Now, this is the cheesy part of the speech, but the alma mater states, "Time never shall sever friends of purple and gold." And even though our colors are now blue and gold due to some wardrobe malfunction in the early 60s, the point is still the same, and I hope that this is true for all of us. And so on behalf of the graduating class of 2012, I'd like to thank the University of Northern Colorado for a fantastic educational experience. And to the graduates, again, congratulations.